of car are you driving? Is it a gas-powered car? Is it a hybrid? Or have you gone full EV, electric vehicles? What do you think of California's move to ban the sale of gas-powered vehicles by 2035 and only allowing for alternative fueled vehicles to be purchased? 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here live with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And yesterday, big splash, California passing and their regulators enacting a prohibition on gas-powered vehicles from being sold come 2035. And Governor J.B. Pritzker was asked about this earlier this week at the Farm Bureau's legislative roundtable, as was the Republican challenger, Darren Bailey. He also was asked about this during a media Q&A a bit. So we'll hear from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, his Republican opponent, State Senator Darren Bailey. But first, here is California Governor Gavin Newsom talking about the big things that his state just did with their prohibition on gas-powered vehicles come 2035. Again, here is Gavin Newsom.
2 years ago, we took a risk. We came out front. I did an executive order saying in 2035, California was going to lead the way on alternative fueled vehicles. Tomorrow, the California Air Resources Board is going to codify that. We will be the first jurisdiction in the world to require all new cars to be sold to be alternative fuel cars.
With California on the verge of passing a law that would mandate all electrical vehicles by 2035, and multiple states are possibly ready to follow, can we have your commitment to ensure that Illinois consumers has the choice in what type of vehicles we drive, and we do not follow California's lead?
I had the opportunity to sign on to that pact and didn't, so that should give you some indicator. Look, do I think we ought to see electrification over the? Yes, of course. I've encouraged it. I think it's a good thing for us to electrify, but it is going to be gradual. It is going to take time. Illinois is not going to snap its fingers and require you to go buy an electric vehicle tomorrow.
Of all people, we read last year when Elon Musk told people in California to, slow down on the car movement because it was going to affect the grid. This is a real problem.
So, again, those are the voices here, but I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News. On 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk, your thoughts about California's move to prohibit the sale of gas-powered vehicles in California. And Governor J.B. Pritzker, again, saying that he had an opportunity to sign on to that. He chose not to, and he says that we do want to try to electrify things and have electric vehicles, for the environment. But what about the concerns over the demand on the electrical grid? Again, here is Governor J.B. Pritzker talking about the electric vehicles that he wants to ultimately put forward, with State Senator Darren Bailey responding to some of this.
I think it's a good thing for us to electrify, but it is going to be gradual. It is going to take time. Illinois is not going to snap its fingers and require you to go buy an electric vehicle tomorrow.
But what about in the future?
Of all people, we read last year when Elon Musk told people in California to, slow down on the car movement because it was going to affect the grid. This is a real problem.
So Illinois, while the governor has a goal of having 1 million electric vehicles on Illinois roadways by 2030, there's not going to be a requirement that you get an electric vehicle, as there will be in California come 2035. Now, California's policy, it'll still allow for gas-powered vehicles, but they're grandfathered in. You can't buy any new ones after 2035. Only new models to be sold would be alternative fueled vehicles. So the European Parliament, they backed a plan to essentially do this as well, and Canada has mandated sale of zero-emission cars by 2035. But one thing that Illinois is doing, and curious if you're taking advantage of this, the rebates for electric vehicles. You've also got a rebate program that the federal government, I think, is putting together. But when it comes to state governments, the rebates up to $4,000 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. And you can get $1,500 for the purchase of a new all-electric motorcycle. Now, applications being accepted now by the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, and they're only taking applications through September 30th. This is a $17.9 million program, million with an M, not a B. That would be way too much, way too rich for even Illinois' blood. But this program is obviously something that people are taking advantage of. And I'd like to hear from you if you are taking advantage of it. 217-629-7970. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just search Bishop on Air, and we can connect that way. But your thoughts on California moving to prohibit the sale of all gas vehicles by 2035? And do you believe Governor J.B. Pritzker saying that he's not in that camp, while he at the same time is encouraging electric vehicles through taxpayer-funded rebates upwards to $17.9 million with a program that's taking applications through September 30th. So if you can't chime in now, you can always chime in via email, bishoponair@gmail.com, or 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here with Springfield's Morning News on this Friday. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and